subscribe.
The Alliance Insight format as we know it is coming to an end as Duelist'S Advance rapidly approaches. Like most core sets, Duelist'S Advance comes with a bunch of new exciting cards to look forward to and, of course, a bunch of powerful support cards for existing archetypes. Today we're getting a cheeky little sneak peek at some of those cards, so let's get into it. Do us a favor though. Click this. Duelist'S Advance is a great set for Arc V fans as Lunalights get a big wave of support, including some very nice cards, man. Like, I can't decide where to start. How about a Perfume Searcher at last in the form of Lunalight Perfume Dancer? This level 6 fusion requiring 2 Lunalight monsters is going to be a key combo piece moving forward, as she has the effect, if this card is fusion summoned, you can add 1 Lunalight Perfume from your deck to your hand. That's already pretty good, but she gets even better than that because her next effect is you can target one other Lunalight card you control, return it to the hand or extra deck, then you can special summon 1 Lunalight monster from your hand. So, Lunalight Tiger, being a non-hard once per turn, is a very good target to bounce to your hand. On top of all of that, she has a nice third effect, especially for going second. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to their original defense, and you can only use each effect once per turn. Like I said, key combo piece moving forward. She pretty much does everything the deck could ask for, and of course, there's plenty more where that came from. Say hello to Lunalight Gold Leo, our first secret rare of the video, a nice little main deck monster for Lunalights here, with the effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand, except Lunalight Gold Leo, then discard 1 card. So not only are you able to search any of your Lunalight monsters, you're also able to trigger their graveyard effects by discarding them to the graveyard. Gold Leo also has the effect, if a Lunalight monster is sent to your graveyard while this card is in your monster zone, even during the damage step, you can target one of them, add it to your hand, and you can only use each effect once per turn. This compares really nicely with Kaleido Chick's effect to send a Lunalight monster from deck to graveyard as cost, and then Gold Leo can just add it from your graveyard back to your hand. So yeah, that's one main deck monster in Duelist'S Advance. The other main deck monster is Lunalight Silver Hound. This is a great target to discard off of the effect of Gold Leo because if this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can special summon 1 Lunalight monster from your deck except Silver Hound. But of course you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Lunalight monsters while you control that monster. Yeah, we don't want another Ryziel Duo Drive moment, you know? But yeah, Silver Hound has another trick up her sleeve, and that is when a spell or trap card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can banish this card and 1 Lunalight fusion monster from your graveyard, negate the activation. You can only use each effect once per turn. It might not get your play started on its own, but it's definitely a very strong option to have in the deck for some of your effects, so at least play 1 copy. The final main deck card we have here for Lunalights is Lunalight Masquerade, a continuous spell card. During your main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can send 1 Lunalight monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, well that does just immediately get your plays going, so I think that's probably a 3 of in the deck. If you fusion summon a Lunalight monster, you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard or banishment to your hand, then you can discard 1 card, and if you do once, if you fusion summon a Lunalight monster this turn, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard as material. So not only does it allow you to start your plays by dumping something like Silverhound to the graveyard, but it also allows you to continue with your fusion plays as well. Yeah, strong card. And then the deck also gets a new level 12 boss monster as well in the form of Lunalight Liger Dancer. Now you can tell she's a boss monster because she requires Lunalight Leo Dancer plus 3 Lunalight monsters, although you can just send Leo Dancer to the graveyard for a Kaleido Chick's effect and copy the name. Must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials, unaffected by card effects except Lunalight cards, can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn, quick effect, you can send 1 Lunalight monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, destroy all your opponent's special summoned monsters. 3800 attack, 3500 defense. Really just the cherry on top for a strong wave of support to the Lunalight deck. Next up, TCG has been cooking with the ritual mechanic recently in the form of Mitsurugi. Well, they've been cooking with the mechanic even more, and we now have a ritual monster that can ritual summon itself. This is Miracle Raven, a 0 scale pendulum ritual monster with the pendulum scale effect. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can ritual summon this card by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed 1. And then its monster effect is you can ritual summon this card with Miracle Raven, of course, itself, must be ritual summoned. This ritual summoned card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. If you ritual summon exactly 1 ritual monster with a card effect that requires use of monsters, this card you control can be used as the entire tribute. If this card is tributed for a ritual summon, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So a very interesting set of effects there, but it also comes paired with Readying of Rites, which is a normal spell card, and this kind of perfectly sets up the Miracle Raven because the effect is add one Fiend ritual monster from your deck to your hand, then if you added a Pendulum monster, you can special summon one Sacrificial Offering token, which is a Dark Fiend level 1. So the idea would be you start with this, you add Miracle Raven and summon the token, and then you scale the Miracle Raven and tribute the token to ritual summon out the Miracle Raven. Of course, while you control the token from Readying of Rites, you cannot special summon from the extra deck, and then it has an effect in the graveyard as well, and that is when your ritual monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can banish this card from your graveyard, draw one card, and you can only use each effect once per turn. But the ritual support doesn't stop there, because we also have Ashlan U1000, which is a Link 2 Cyberse monster requiring 2 monsters with different types and attributes. If a ritual monster this card points to attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. You can only use each of the following effects of Ashlan U1000 once per turn. You can reveal one ritual monster in your hand, add one ritual monster with a different type and attribute from your deck to your hand, and if you ritual summon except you're in a damage step, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. That last effect is really nice, going second for almost any ritual deck. It allows you to help break your opponent's board, and any kind of consistency when it comes to ritual decks is very much appreciated. Next up, we have the third Morganite spell released into the game, Guilt Gripping Morganite. For the rest of this duel, apply the following effects. You cannot activate monster effects in the hand. You can normal summon level 5 or higher monsters without tributing. You do not pay life points to activate spell or trap cards. Yeah, Morganite Stun is starting to sound more and more like a very scary deck, but you can also banish this card from your graveyard, reveal one Morganite card in your hand, place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck, and then draw one card. This time though, the Morganite spell comes with a Morganite main deck monster. This is Morgana the Witch of Eyes, a level 4 dark spellcaster who's always treated as a Morganite card. She has a whole bunch of effects, starting off with when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish one Morganite spell from your graveyard, negate that attack, and there's no once per turn on that effect either, so if you have multiple Morganite spells in your graveyard, you can negate multiple attacks. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Morganite spell from your deck to your hand. Pretty good. Finally, if you have 3 or more Morganite spells with different names in your graveyard and or banishment, you can change the attack of all face-up monsters your opponent controls to 0 permanently. I'm excited to see what people cook up with these Morganite cards. They pair really nicely with the Dominus cards, so we could very well see a trap stun deck on the horizon. And now we get to some of the standalone cards in this set that don't really compare with anything else, starting off with Secretarian Dragon, a light level 8 dragon fusion requiring a dragon and a spellcaster monster, and this is ultra rare. This card loses 100 attack for each of your banished cards. While you control this fusion summoned card, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon the dragon or spellcaster monsters they control. On top of that, you can target one dragon and one spellcaster monster in your graveyard, special summon one, and if you do, place the other on the bottom of the deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. It's very similar to Mysterion the Dragon Crown, just with a very different effect. Also, oddly enough, you can easily fusion summon this in Blue Eyes using the Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragon's graveyard effect. I don't know if you should, but you can. And then the final card that we have today is in fact a secret rare, Gorgon of Zilophonia, a Link 3 reptile monster with the 3 upwards arrows. You don't see that too often. This monster just requires 2+ effect monsters, and the effect is you cannot summon or set monsters to a zone this card points to. Monsters this card points to cannot attack, also their activated effects are negated. So going first, you can just be very annoying with this card and essentially lock your opponent out of 3 of their zones, but also going second, you can just make this, and because the effect isn't activated, it can turn off a bunch of your opponent's end board monsters as well. On top of that, it gains attack equal to the total original attack of monsters this card points to, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or monster effect while it points to no monsters. This card is very strong, and I think is gonna definitely have to be played around going forward. If you're unable to put a Link monster in the extra monster zone to avoid this, then you can very easily get punished. The art is is. Really cool though. So yeah, a bunch of sick cards coming in Duelist's Advance, and we've barely even scratched the surface. Let me know what you're looking forward to most out of this set, and maybe I'll see you back tomorrow for some box openings.